Exclusive early action, the admissions plan that dare not speak its name. That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. Exclusive early action is what it sounds like. It's an early action plan that is exclusive to certain types of applicants. Now, no college has an admissions plan that is called officially exclusive early action, because the word exclusive is a naughty word these days in a world of inclusion and everyone wanting to be inclusive. But there are 3 notable colleges that have exclusive early action programs, but they don't call it as such. And I want to discuss these 3 today just so that we're all aware of it and we can air it out in the open. The first school is Florida State University. Florida State University has an early action deadline of October 15th. And that deadline is for students who want to get an admissions decision earlier than those admissions decisions that will be released for regular decision, but it's only available to certain applicants. The early action opportunity or the early action deadline is only available to Florida students. So it's a public school that's legal to do this, where you have an exclusive early action program. Again, they don't call it exclusive early action. But it's an exclusive early action program. You cannot apply from Missouri. You cannot apply from California. You cannot apply from Maryland or Maine. This early action deadline of October 15th, which notifies students of their admissions decision by the middle of December, so 2 months later, is only available to Florida State applicants who are from the state of Florida, applying from Florida to attend Florida State. The second exclusive early action program is at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is also a state school, and therefore, they can rationalize that this is okay because it's going to give exclusive opportunities to residents who are arguably, in some cases, children of taxpayers, in other cases, or at least children of residents who may not be paying taxes, but in any case, they are residents of the state of Georgia. The early action deadline at Georgia Tech is currently October 16th. It could be a different date depending on the year, in the middle of October, but roughly. That is available. Early action 1, as it's called, at Georgia Tech, is that deadline of October 16th is only available to Georgia students. And those students will get their decision the beginning of the second week of December, roughly December 8th. Now, unlike Florida State, Georgia Tech does offer another early action round for non-Georgia students only. So interestingly, you could argue that actually Georgia Tech has 2 exclusive early action rounds. One is for the Georgia students, which is October 16th. The next is for the non-Georgia students. These could be students from Montana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Tennessee, you name it, maybe even Bangladesh. And this is, so no Georgia residents can apply, I think, during the second round of early action. That deadline is November 1st, and those students don't hear until late January, roughly January 26th. So that's not nearly as early. So clearly, the in-state residents, the students of Georgia, get a real leg up in hearing from Georgia Tech earlier than the out-of-state students would, even with that added early action option, exclusive early action option for non-residents about 2 weeks after the initial one for Georgia residents. And then the final university that has that I want to talk about, at least. There could be others. These are the big players, I would say, in the space, if you will, if we're using sort of inside baseball terminology. But the third university that is offering an exclusive early action program is not offering an exclusive early action program based off of residency at all. And in fact, the university is a private university, but it is also in the South. We are talking now about Wake Forest University. In the 23-24 admission cycle, Wake Forest University debuted a new early action plan that, again, they're calling early action, but I am calling exclusive early action. And this early action deadline is the same date that they also have an early decision deadline. Early decision, by the way, is, of course, a binding plan. But early action now exists at Wake Forest. I'm calling it exclusive early action because this early action deadline of November 15th for application for first-year applicants to get a decision by the middle of January is exclusively available to students who are deemed to be first-generation college students. It is not based off of residency. It is based, again, off of whether or not you were a first-generation college student. What is a first-generation college student, you may ask? Well, on the Common Application for Wake Forest during the 23-24 admission cycle, which I would assume would be pretty similar should they keep this early action, exclusive early action opportunity available for future cycles. This is what was stated there. Early action plan is for students who identify, that's a key word, who identify as first-generation college students. Many factors can be considered when determining who is a first-generation college student. For the purposes of this year's Wake Forest application, we will designate first-generation college students based on the following. First generation means the child of parents who have not graduated from a 4-year accredited college or university. Brothers, sisters, or family members who graduated do not exclude you from participation, outside, of course, of the parents. Neither does a parent currently enrolled in a 4-year program, I'm assuming. This criteria also applies to international students. First generation can also include the children of parents who earned a degree in another country, immigrated to the United States, and are underemployed in the U.S. Whether domestic or international, if the student resides with and receives support from only one parent, the first generation classification is based on that parent's education. And then on the Common App supplement for Wake Forest, they had you actually check a little box saying you acknowledge that you are a first generation college student and that you desire to be considered for admission in the early action applicant pool at Wake Forest, if in fact you selected that from the option above in terms of the admissions plans on offer at Wake Forest, which also include early decision 1, early decision 2, and regular decision, at least of the 23-24 admission cycle. Whether or not that will perpetuate in any given year into the future, I do not have a crystal ball, but it could very well continue. Maybe they'll change it. But again, this would be the third and final exclusive early action program I want to discuss today. The reason none of these programs call themselves exclusive early action is that would be very haughty. That would be very impolite in today's political climate to claim you are an exclusive institution, at least in writing or verbally. You don't want to actually speak it. That's why I say exclusive early action is the admissions plan that dare not speak its name, because of course, the entire reason you would want to go to Wake Forest, Florida State University, or Georgia Tech is because there is a perceived exclusiveness about these institutions and any other highly selective institution that you may want to get into. People want to get in with the in crowd, right? They want to go to Studio 54. They want to, they want to be popular. This is a human tendency in search of status. But once you actually throw the word exclusive out there, you can't do it apparently any longer in polite society in the United States. But I cut through the morass of gray language, let's put it that way, and I cut right to the black and white of things. And these are 3 exclusive early action programs. I don't know why the schools don't just stand up proud and say, we offer exclusive early action and deal with what may come as a result. But I am informing my loyal audience that if you are intrigued by the opportunity to maybe have a leg up in the admissions process because you fit one of the criteria maybe mentioned today, maybe you're an in-state resident in Florida, you're an in-state resident in Georgia, or you can finagle your way as being a first-generation college student, or at least identifying as one, for the purposes of early action admission at Wake Forest. These do give you opportunities that those who do not meet those criteria will not have. And that means an earlier decision, but also not having to bind yourself, in the case of Wake Forest, to a university that doesn't offer any other early plans for individuals who are not willing to bind themselves to being admitted, in that case, again, to Wake Forest University. So again, just wanted to educate you about exclusive early action. Make sure you're aware of this interesting novel option. And there could, again, very well be other colleges that offer these types of exclusive early action programs. There may be more in the future. I will keep you updated. If you are interested, definitely consider subscribing to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I want to also say one more thing. You may want to get into Wake Forest University. You may want to get into Florida State University, and you may want to get into Georgia Tech. And it may not even be for exclusive early action. It may just be just as long as you hear by April of your senior year, you'll be thrilled. And no matter the case, no matter the admissions plan that you are considering, I strongly recommend for the 24-25 admission cycle a new product that I am offering, which is known as My Pre-Read. When you finished your Common App and you want to know if it's as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate, you want My Pre-Read. Getting My Pre-Read now means having me review your entire application just like an admissions officer or an admissions committee will review it later, and receiving by email no later than the time you reserve on my website a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App and one Common App supplement. So for instance, you could do this for your Georgia Tech application on the Common App, or maybe you want to do it for your Florida State application on the Common App, or maybe you want to do it for your Wake Forest application on the Common App, or maybe if you really want to splurge, you want to do it for all 3. If you've yet to submit your Common App to one or all of those schools and you want me to do a pre-read on it, My Pre-Read may motivate you to make adjustments to your application before your deadline and before you hit submit. If you've already submitted your Common App, My Pre-Read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at the institution in question. I call this infotainment. It's going to be informational for you. It's also going to be maybe a little bit of entertaining for you. And I think that's fun. Again, this is a well-priced product. It's a really interesting product. And if you're interested, I encourage you to go to mypreread.com to learn more. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.